Welcome back. I'm sure you guys are tired of seeing my face. I've been on board a couple times today, but that's okay. It's okay. It's another Monday at the Boston Power Hour. Sorry we're late. The snow's outside. We had to drive a little slow, but it's all right. We have a couple good things that we want to talk about today. Great season going on right now. Great playoffs, and it is my pleasure to start off by not ranting today. I'm actually excited. I'm excited about the people that were DMing me, people reaching out and venting and voicing their opinions, their thoughts, and this is what this show is all about. My guy, like I said, Mr. Brady, he did really well for what I thought was supposed to be, what he was supposed to do. Sorry, as you guys see me reaching over here. I'm just getting slightly interrupted here, but it's all good. We had a lot of games, a lot of good games, a lot of shite games, but then they ended it off really good. But I'm really excited to talk to you guys tonight. I'm really excited to get my boy on here because you know he's always ranting about something. But for whatever reason, I think it might be a little bit different today. I think I don't know, it might be me. It might be a little bit different. But you know what? Who am I to say that? I might be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. But as always, you know who it is. It's that kid, the Spiking.
What am I wearing? What am I doing?
I don't know.
What am I doing?
Where's the beard?
Am I giving up on Pat's Nation? Am I switching sides, Cliff?
I don't know.
Am I switching sides? Am I going to a different era, to a different team, following Joe Burrow?
You don't even have the beard.
I don't really rep other teams, huh?
The beard is gone.
The beard's gone.
You got Ocho Cinco. You got the
Ocho
Bengals.
Cinco on.
Okay, I told you.
Reebok jersey.
I told you that the Bengals were good, but I didn't mean good to go get a jersey, man. What happened?
No,
Let's talk about this.
Okay. First of all, Ocho Cinco is one of my favorite players growing up. All right. So I have a small collection of football jerseys. Mm-hmm. They're tucked away somewhere. This is a jersey I always used to wear for fantasy football purposes. Okay. So something I always rep, and I thought it was fitting.
So that's allowed?
All right. Well, listen. I've been so against. I'm a hypocrite. I'm such a hypocrite.
Aren't we all?
Because I'm against wearing like Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but that's for a different reason. Right. Because Tom Brady left New England and went down to Tampa. Mm-hmm. I'm supporting the Cincinnati Bengals and trying to show them some love because I want them to be Kansas City. I want the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl. For the Patriots, that's the reason. I don't want Mahomes to start this whole dynasty in Kansas City. I want the dynasty to stay in New England forever. Like I don't want Mahomes to win 2 out of 3 years and go to 3 straight Super Bowls and be put on this next level of awesomeness. Like I don't want that. I want cool Joe Burrow to beat Kansas City. I want Joe Burrow to go into the Super Bowl. Like, how can you hate on Joe Burrow? How can you hate on the Cincinnati Bengals, that poor franchise that has been waiting so long to get somewhere?
That's a fact.
I'm supporting them over the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the reason why I'm wearing this right now. That's the reason why I'm supporting the Bengals.
We'll let that slide. It's okay. I'm okay with it.
I get a mulligan. I shaved the beard. I said, playoffs are done. Patriots are done. Let's start fresh. Start new.
Starter new.
Yeah, starter new. So, there's still football to watch. There's still teams to support. You got to support somehow. I'm supporting the Bengals.
All right. So let me ask you a question because, it wouldn't be a Boston Power Hour without a rant, sir. Any rants this week?
One major rant. Major rant that's going to happen. As we saw yesterday, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they lost. It's over. It's done with. Tom Brady, is he going to retire? Tom Brady, did we just watch Tom Brady's last football game and we watch him be down and out 27-3 and make that miraculous comeback, which was probably scripted because I have no idea how they're able to even be back in that position. And shout out to Matt Stafford, out of all people, who deserved that moment in the fourth quarter for a big throw to Cooper Kupp, who deserves the recognition to set themselves up for a winning field goal. He's been waiting so long and been wasting his career away in Detroit. He goes into LA Rams and was able to do that. Is he going to be the one that knocks off Tom Brady and that's it?
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
No.
You see that scowl? He's just eliminated. It's not his fault. It's a team sport.
Tom Brady is not retiring this offseason. He's going to take time to sit. It stings. He lost. That's fine. He's going to assess everything around him. What's the Bucs going to look like next year? What's the other team's options going to be next year? Because there's going to be a lot of quarterback options that are going to be out there. Where is he going to go? And is there going to be a fit for Tom Brady, right? So Cliff and everybody at home, I see this two ways. I see Tom Brady assessing Tampa Bay. Who's going to be playing with me? Who's going to be on the defense? Do we have a legitimate shot to get back to where we are?
Right.
And I think Tom Brady's going to go out there and say, I'm playing one more season. This is my retirement tour. Who's joining with me?
Who's coming with?
A lot of free agents out there. Maybe Odell Beckham signs a one-year deal. Gronk signs a one-year deal. There are going to be players out there that are going to want to play with Brady knowing it's his last year. And I'll say this, it's a business. He's not leaving money on the table that he has right now. And he can make money. Merchandise sales, jersey sales, making commercials. Like, there's going to be so much money that can be made in this one season. I will say this. If Tampa Bay is not a fit, he's going to look elsewhere, and he might go play for his childhood team, the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo has 1 year left on his deal, but if they cut him after the season, they save $20+ million. You don't have to start Trey Lance right away. He can sit behind Brady for one season, and they're kind of built already. Brady with Kittle. Brady with Deebo Samuel. Imagine Gronkowski comes to San Fran and Kittle and Gronkowski, the two tight end set. It makes so much sense for Tom Brady to go there for 1 year. That's it. He wants to play with his childhood team. And if he sucks next year or doesn't win, no one is going to knock him for that. So a lot of assessment this offseason. I think he comes back. He should say, I'm going on a retirement tour. It gets everyone hyped up, all eyes on him for another full year, and just rides into the sunset no matter what happens.
Let me add a little sauce to that. What if, like you said, he makes a couple calls and says, hey, come out, let's play? What if he calls one... we're talking about merchandise.
I've been an advocate of Julian Edelman making a comeback, and sometimes in the NFL, we've seen it over these years that players do need a full year off. Rob Gronkowski, Marshawn Lynch did the same thing and came back.
Great point.
Is Edelman going to be the same Edelman? No, but they don't need Edelman. They just need him for like 20% of snaps out there. They need Edelman more of as a vet guy. They just need Edelman to be a vocal leader. And again, the fan base, I think they're going to be kind of split. Some are going to say, you really stabbed us in the back. Others are going to say, hey, go do your thing with Tom Brady. I understand that his knee's falling off and he can't go out there and take a hit. But hey, a full, healthy offseason, and you're able to inject whatever you want in the body because he ain't getting tested.
You ain't getting tested.
Just saying. And Edelman's done it in the past, by the way, when he had his injury. Just saying. And he accepted those 4-game suspension. So it wouldn't surprise me. But again, if Tom Brady goes out there, Cliff, and says, this is it. I'm retiring. We're going to fix our cap space here in Tampa. Let's just have the ultimate offense around me. There are going to be plenty of people. Juju Smith-Schuster. Hey, why don't you come on down for 1 year?
How about him having a nice little,
nice like a chance to play with Brady and just form this ultimate super team somewhere. And I think it could happen.
I think it makes a lot of sense to me, especially with Brady. Like you said, he got a new brand. He's putting out some merch out there. It'd be nice.
Imagine this whole offense wearing the Brady brand next year. Like if you want to come play with me in my final year, you have to always wear my Brady brand. Yes. Dude, oh my God. Imagine like going up to a game, you go on the road and they get all dressed up and stuff. Everyone's wearing Brady brand.
Boom.
Like Brady has ultimate control at the end of the day.
Hey, Trey Lance, you want to be the greatest quarterback ever? You stay under me.
Yeah, just stay under me. Just understand it. And I also look at it this way too. So like if he goes to Tampa and says, trade me to San Fran, they're going to do it.
Right.
Maybe there's a Jimmy Garoppolo Brady swap. Like maybe they do it that way. Maybe they just cut ties with Jimmy and make a trade. There's going to be something there. First round picks. If you're a San Fran, you're going to pick up the phone. You're going to do that.
Right.
You got to look at it this way, too. It's his childhood team. It's California. He wants to play in warm weather.
Yep.
It's an easy sell to Giselle to say, hey, let's go to the West Coast. Hey, I want to put all my TB12 stuff out there. Hey, maybe we'll start living in L.A. now. Like, we get out of Florida. Right. We can go live in L.A. now and retire over there. Like, that's just in that West Coast. Like, that's where I see Brady going. It actually makes a lot of sense because guess what, folks? Jimmy Garoppolo's not leading the San Francisco 49ers to the NFC title game.
No.
He's falling ass backwards. But Brady's got to look at that, and the team's got to look at that and be like, imagine we just had Brady instead. Yeah. Imagine we had Brady instead. I think Brady should be hyped up that the Niners took care of business in Lambeau.
They should have been.
Their defense and special teams took care of business. Aaron Rodgers. That should get Brady's attention. Be like, ooh, they have a built team around there. They haven't built. Imagine if I went in there and actually was throwing touchdowns.
Yes.
And actually being able to get the ball to people.
Wow, there's a running team. Oh, my goodness.
They're a running team, and they would know. And Trey Lance, it's his second year. Guess what?
No rush.
Just sit, learn behind Brady.
Rodgers did it for 3-4 years.
Yeah,
it's all right,
man. It makes so much sense.
I think you make a lot of good points there, but I think what really, really is impressive to me is just the fact that let's not sleep over this. Didn't you think this was going to be Atlanta 2.0? When you're watching the game, I was like, "Oh my God!"
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. So I was at home watching, and I got the babies with me. I was on daddy duty, and then every so often I turned it off because I'm watching, but I have to turn it off. I have to watch on my phone. I got to put simple songs on for the babies. Then something's happened. I'm like, I got to put this on back on the TV. And I was going back and forth. I was really rooting for that comeback. I was really rooting for Tom himself. Why would you not want to root for that?
Yeah.
And I think too, Cliff and everybody out there, we would be looking at this differently. I think that if Tampa Bay lost 27-3, 27-10, 33-10, whatever it is, and it's that big, then I would say maybe he is actually going to retire.
Right.
Because then having that last minute fourth quarter spark, and you're back in, the crowd's behind you, and you're reading how more support you have now than more than ever.
Right.
I think that's going to sit with him over the next month and say, I just want to do it one more year. One more year, Giselle. One more year. That's what my contract is. I got to finish up my contract. I got to get my $25 million.
Yep.
We'll go on vacation with that. We'll have some big fancy parties.
You know what, man?
One more year and build the brand up.
I hate to say it, but Todd Bowles screwed him. They screwed him. All they had to do is, I vented about that. We're not going to go there because all he had to. Basic defense, ladies and gentlemen. Basic defense. A lot of great points. I think you're right. Now, we got another guy we got to talk about. What about this guy here?
Aaron Rodgers. I was rooting for him because of his season this year and how petty he's been, the cancel culture, cancel culture, the unvaccinated, I can do whatever I want type of deal. And he literally shit the bed.
Yep.
He shit the bed. You're the MVP of the season. And the San Francisco 49ers fell ass backwards. You're not you're a loser. You're a loser. The Packers franchise are losers because you had Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. You drafted Rodgers. You had this great transition. You're always there.
That's right.
And you never truly capitalized on the franchise. The last 30 years, you got 2 Super Bowls out of it between those two guys. And now you're entering a level of uncertainty. That team's going to be gutted out. Do you truly trust Jordan Love? Because we've seen him play against Kansas City, and at the time that Kansas City was struggling, and Jordan Love couldn't even get a win over them.
Yeah.
So is he going to be the guy? What weapons are you going to have around him for Green Bay purposes? Rodgers, he's going to take time. He's still good. Just like Brady. Brady's still good. Rodgers is still good. Rodgers is going to find a home. Some people have been linking him to Denver Broncos. He's got to find an organization that's going to accept who he is, what he's allowed to say. He doesn't give a shit, and he's still got years behind him.
I think so too.
I'm hearing retirement out of him. No, that guy's got a solid 3 to 4 years left in him. Wherever he goes, he's signing for 3 to 4 years. And Cliff,
but let me ask you, where do you see him? What's the place?
Oh, right. Imagine Aaron Rodgers in New England. New England.
I wouldn't want him.
And why not?
I just don't think that Rodgers I think he shrinks during playoffs. I think he gets scared not scared, but he gets very conservative.
But this would be the greatest coach that he's ever had with him.
Yeah, you're right.
But here's the thing, Cliff.
It's tempting.
If Aaron Rodgers in the offseason says, I want to go play for the New England Patriots.
I'm not going to say no.
And he goes, I will even take a pay cut to go play there for 2 years.
Oh, shit.
Do you take him?
Do you take him? I'm going to go pick him up at the airport. Come on, me and you. We'll get an interview while we're at it.
You're stupid to not take Aaron Rodgers.
For sure.
You're stupid not to take a Deshaun Watson, by the way, too.
100%.
Because guess what? Mac Jones is with the team for another 4 years.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere, and he can sit. If you have Aaron Rodgers for 2 years, you take him.
That's right.
Aaron Rodgers will not put the work in New England. Belichick expects the most out of you. He's not going to look at Aaron Rodgers and say, oh, you're already built up. I'll give you some leeway. I know Belichick's kind of changing his stance. Not when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. You have to work for it, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers will want to put the work in New England.
Great point. And you know what? I think you're right with that because I think he just wants to come into a system that needs like a savior type of thing.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Could you see him going to Tampa? Like a swap?
No. I mean, It depends on where he wants to play. The perfect fit for Aaron Rodgers is Pittsburgh. It's really Pittsburgh.
We talked about that.
Now, does he want to be coached by Mike Tomlin?
Oof.
Would they see eye to eye? I don't think they would. But would Mike Tomlin kind of bite the bullet, just bite it for a couple seasons to have Aaron Rodgers there? Aaron, you focus on the offense. You do your thing. Let me focus defense, special teams, and just be a coach.
It's a big bullet to bite, man.
It is, but Tomlin's still trying to keep his job afloat. He's done a really good job. He's a good coach. He's a good coach. The team's always going over 500. We've talked about that.
Yep.
And they're built to slide in a quarterback right now and win. And I think in a division that is winnable as well, too. I think Aaron Rodgers has a chance to go to the AFC. If you're getting beat around nonstop in the NFC, do what Brady did. Switch conferences like that.
That's true.
The Denver Broncos, I hear it. I get it. I get their young talent.
I don't see it.
Noah Fant. Or you got Jerry Jeudy.
I don't see it.
And you got Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
And things that, no. Oh, the ball can float. It can go in the air. No. Denver stinks. You're going to be in the same division as Kansas City.
Yeah.
Great matchups. Like, don't get me wrong.
It's fun for us.
Same division as Justin Herbert, who's on his way up. Same division as Derek Carr and Vegas Raiders, who might get Devontae Adams this offseason. So, no, there's just too much competition. You're putting yourself in a spot where you might not even make the playoffs with the team that you have. Don't do that. Go to a team that's already built. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So you're thinking, with the Devontae Adams comment, you're thinking Carr's not going anywhere.
No, I think they're in with Carr.
Okay.
I like
because of what he did in the playoffs.
They're in with Carr. I think because they made the playoffs, you got to stick with them. I know a lot of things are happening.
Okay.
And I think that Devontae Adams is going to land there. I think that's the landing spot. They're breaking everything up in Tampa. He said that he wanted to go to Vegas before. We'll see what happens. But they got to get a couple extra weapons around Carr. And again, if Vegas that got to the playoffs against Cincy, imagine they had Henry Ruggs. Like, imagine they actually had him in his talent.
Correct.
None of that other stuff happened. And he had that. That's what they're missing. Yeah. And that's what they need. And they'll get it. They'll get it out there. They'll spend the money.
So with all the things that was going on during the postseason, this is the rhetoric that I'm hearing right now. And I'm kind of losing my mind personally. The product is good. You played for 60 minutes. You get the overtime. If they scored on you, I'm sorry. Game over. People are saying, oh, but the Patriots benefited. I get that. But guess what? If we lost, I would have said, shit, we should have beat them within the 60 minutes or actually stopped them. Where do you stand on this, man?
Okay, so there's three phases to the game: offense, special teams, and defense. Defense. So back in 2010, when they first proposed the overtime rule to have the 2 field goals, like you kick a field, you get the ball back, because it used to be just first score wins.
Yep.
There was 4 teams that said no to that, and they didn't want the switch, and Buffalo Bills were one of them. Then again, when they wanted to do the new switch, and Kansas City did it after the AFC title game that they lost because of it.
Okay.
They went out and said, we should have a fair chance that both sides should have it, and it got denied. And Buffalo Bills, again, voted against it. And they end up winning because the Kansas City Chiefs won because of the overtime rule. Listen, yeah, it's a coin flip. I saw the stat today, and there's been 11 playoff games under this format. And the team that won the coin flip is 10-1, and 7 of times I think they scored in the opening touchdown drive. Like in the playoffs, alone in the playoffs. So it's pretty much you win the coin flip, you get it.
You get it. Yep.
Make a stop. There's a reason. There's a reason why there's a field goal. Just keep them to a field goal. You get the ball back. That's it.
Like, to me,
Make
again,
stop.
Why are we trying to water football down? I'm sorry. I was in your comments. And this dude was talking about if there's quarterbacks that make the play last longer than a certain amount of time, they should just stop the play. What?
No.
What is going on right now? Why are they trying to change the product? You guys already took away the 10-yard jam. Now you want to leave it alone. It's fine. It's fine.
I get it. It's a duel offensively. 25 points in the last 2 minutes. And you're getting excited. And it really was. Whoever gets the coin flip is going to go down, march, and score. But your defense makes a stop. The Bills, who are like the number 1 defense in the league, make one stop or hold them to 3 points and get the ball back into Josh Allen's hands. And you couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it. So, I mean, you cry all you want. The rules are the rules. I know the Patriots benefited off of it in 2018. And fun story, by the way. Fun story was that when I was down in Atlanta, and I've mentioned this story plenty of times, I was down in Atlanta for Super Bowl 53, and I was at Shaquille O'Neal's Funhouse party, and I believe it was Friday night, and me and GRD snuck up to a certain area that we weren't supposed to be in. And people might have seen this picture. It's me and Travis Kelce and GRD. We took a little selfie. We got to talk with Travis. Like, it was fun. We snuck up where the Kansas City Chiefs were. They were having a party.
Yep.
So everyone's surrounded. You know, everyone's there. A lot of security. You just mingle in. There was one moment. Pat Mahomes was by himself.
Okay.
And I this is my chance. And it's going to be like 10 seconds. So I withered in there, and I saw Pat Mahomes, and I shook his hand, and I said, congratulations on the season. You're going to win the MVP. I'm a Patriots fan. If you had the ball first in your hands, you would have won. You're going to get yours one day.
Right,
trust me, you are a fantastic player. And he's like, thank you so much for that. You know the way he talks. Thank you so much. I can't do the Kermit voice. Thank you so much. He was drinking his Coors Light. And then I had the Super Bowl, the first tattoo, and then I lifted up my shirt, and I was like, by the way, the Pats are going to win the Super Bowl. I got this tattoo, and he wasn't pleased about it. And I just left. I didn't bother him. No, I didn't ask for a picture. No, that will always stick with me. And it's crazy. And then Travis Kelce, me and GRD talked with him, and Travis was awesome. He was dancing. He was having fun. I think he was trying to I saw Mahomes, and Mahomes was pissed. Like, he didn't want to be at Shaq's Funhouse. He was watching everything going on, and he was just so pissed because he knows that he should have been in the Super Bowl. So to see that moment a couple years ago and be there and see that, it's a cool experience from my standing to see them win the next year against San Fran and then get back again. I still am rooting against them because I don't want there to be a dynasty. I don't want that to happen.
It's all right.
It was a cool moment. He's hurt by it. And it makes me think this. If Pat Mahomes was hurt by it, and I saw it, Josh Allen must be hurt by it too.
Oh,
and that Bills team, they're going to be back there. They're going to be back.
There was a really nice video of you saw Mahomes run into Josh is kind of just, saying
Mahomes lived through it. If anybody can give Josh Allen
that's a fact.
He can go right to Josh Allen and say,
fact.
hey, I went through this in 2018. You know what happened next year? I won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It motivated me. It drove me.
It
drove me. You want motivation this offseason? You could have beat us. No one was stopping either team, and it came down to a coin flip. You guys are good. You guys will be back here next year, and they will be, because guess what? New England Patriots fans, the Buffalo Bills own you right now. That's 2 wins right there on the season.
We'll talk a little bit about that later. So let me ask you. So you saw Mahomes. So you didn't see his wife, huh?
Oh,
because I got a video for you.
Oh my God,
I got a video for you.
Okay,
right
look at her.
She's potty.
Oh, she's so annoying. So this is why you can't root for Kansas City. It's her. It's the annual Brittany Mahomes Invitational, all about me, and Jackson Mahomes with his TikTok.
I'd have been like, bitch, I didn't ask to get sprayed.
Yeah, I know. It's like freezing out there, like 20-degree weather, and she's spraying you. And I get it. She's the ultimate hype woman for her hubby, for her baby daddy. Like I get it, but she's so annoying. Every single season for the last 4 to 5 years, we've seen videos of her pop up. And you see the memes about it. Joe Burrow, please stop Jackson Mahomes. Please stop Brittany Lynn. Like, please stop them. It's a train wreck you can't look away from.
Yeah.
But she is the ultimate villain.
This is true.
Brittany is the ultimate villain of the NFL. Her and Jackson, they know their role and they play it well. I give them credit for that.
I'm not mad at that. It's like, hey, you know what? Get it in where you fit in. It's okay. It is what it is.
Get it in. I do feel bad for Pat Mahomes. But that might motivate him too. He probably I want to win for them.
Guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he's just not that guy. He's like, come on, guys. I just,
we seen it in the offseason where he was like shaking his head at something, and we've seen at the beginning of the season where they're down in Tennessee and Jackson Mahomes is dancing and everyone's making fun of him, and I don't know. It's funny that they're back in the AFC title game like that.
Hey, these guys are good, man.
They're good. They're a good
really
team.
Good. Let me ask you real quick. How quickly did your opinion change, if at all, about our chances in the AFC after seeing these games this weekend?
My opinion changes like every 5 seconds.
Me too, but where are we now? Where's your feelings? Because I said, oh, shit.
Yeah, there's someone's asked a question, I believe, about this. We'll get into later, but we can give a little preview of it. It's just you have a lot of work to do, New England Patriots. I mean, you're looking all around. All these quarterbacks have a stud receiver with them. Mm-hmm. Tyreek Hill. Yep. You have a guy like Joe Burrow has Jamar Chase. Mm-hmm. Even like just looking at the Bills, like they have the ability to put up all those points. And I know Gabriel Davis, what a game for him. I mean, and I know Diggs only had 7 yards, but they have weapons there in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. To see these teams around you, you didn't play this past weekend. Can you beat these teams? And they can't right now. There's a lot of question marks about the New England Patriots. And I look at the team they have. in what they're building, I think you're going to have probably another 10-7 type of season next year.
Yeah.
You're going to go through some more struggles before you get better. I don't. It's the slow moving process of getting better. Like, you got to get at least back into the wild card. You got to get into a competition with the AFC East, and you got to have at least 10 wins. The bar is set, and I don't mind the New England Patriots doing the same thing they did. But next year, the only thing I really want to see different, if you're 10-7, you got to be at that same level. You got to beat good teams. You got to show that you can beat the good teams, because you didn't do it this year.
Do you think we're going to, and this is a little bit off of our itinerary today, but do you think Bill is going to focus a little more? Because we talked about this last week. We know we need a number one receiver. If we can't get that number one receiver through free agency, is the focus going to be on defense?
Yeah, it has to be. I think your offense is set. I truly think the New England Patriots are going to look at it in this way and say, we got Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry was good this year. Jonnu Smith needs to get mixed in. Kendrick Bourne provided what he was
100%.
valued, in worth.
That's a score.
Jacoby Myers has to get better. You look at Nelson Aguilar, disappointing season for him. You're missing something. You are missing something, but your run game was there. I would really focus this year on the offensive line to protect Mac Jones.
Right.
And I would focus on defense. Work with what you have. If that offense is providing you 10 wins this season and you're beating teams you're supposed to be beating, that's fine. You don't really need to make a difference. The defense puts you in holes to start these games. The offense tried their best to come back at certain times. They couldn't get over that hump. I'd rather just see Mac continue to develop over there. Don't get him the stud. Get it in year 3. Just get it in year 3. But you got to work on your defense. Spend the money on the defense. Draft through the defense and O-line. Protect Mac Jones. He got sacked 28 times, I believe, this season is what we talked about. Bring that number down a little bit. Protect your quarterback. Don't keep getting him hit. And keep that run game going. Just focus on the run and the ground and pound.
Yes or no, because you said your mind changes constantly, like
always.
The way, like me too.
Change it constantly right in that time.
Yes or no, right now. Quarterback competition?
Yes, 100% still.
Don't change
I don't know
shit.
why people shat on that last week. Oh, we got a lot of hate last week, by the way. C+ for Mac Jones. That's a legitimate fair grade.
What do you want?
I said Mac Jones had a good rookie season. He did for a rookie, but I'm not grading him as a rookie. I'm grading him as an NFL quarterback compared to everybody else. He was a C+. You got to give him some room for improvement. I don't think there was anything wrong with the C+. I posted on Twitter, and you got Mark Daniels from the Providence Journal coming out and saying, you don't know what you're talking about. Game-winning drives aren't a stat. They are in my mind. They are in my eyes. They are. He's a C+, and that's what he was. I'll give him a B-. All right? You want me to give him a B-?
We're just fine. Being honest around on these
it's
sides.
Honesty. It's honesty. That's all it is. And because guess what? Next year he's going to be a B+. He's going to improve, but he set the bar, 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, under 4,000 yards. Imagine he has another season like that. It could happen. So where's he going to go? You're putting him as an A, as a rookie. He has the same exact season next year. What's he now, a B-? You're going to hurt his confidence. If anything, I'm doing him a service. I'm making sure that hey, guys, relax a little bit. Good rookie season. Oh, he was the best rookie in the last couple years, and he's doing it. Good rookie season. He's a C+. He's a quarterback that was supposed to be built, ready to go. They called him the most NFL-ready quarterback. People are saying stop using this rookie excuse. He was built for the NFL. He's with the best system around him in the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick, and he was a C+. That's the way I saw it, and that's the way I called it, and that's the truth, and the truth hurts.
And that's the way
and there's going to be a quarterback competition because my man Jarrett Stidham, it's his final year of his contract.
It's time to step
He's
up.
got to do whatever it takes. Is he going to win the job? I'm not saying he's going to win the job. I'm saying there's going to be a competition because Mac Jones needs competition to keep him motivated, to keep him going. Cam Newton was his competition. He beat out Cam Newton. Fair and square, he did it. He needs somebody that nipping at his heels, and that's what Stidham's going to be. Or they might look out there in free agency. You don't know. We'll see what ends up happening, but there's going to be a quarterback competition.
Nice combination.
There's going to be
everything.
days where Stidham has better days than Mac Jones. It's just going to happen like that.
100%. 100%.
There's going to be a little competition.
So let's talk about your team that's trying to beat these guys here.
Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs, AFC title game. I am astonished that the Bengals got this far. It's funny because we said we don't want the Patriots to play them. We don't want the Patriots to play them.
I was scared of them.
I was scared of them too. I will say the Bengals have gotten a lot of calls going their way. Like whether it was the throw out of bounds that everyone stopped against Vegas. There was 2 times, I believe, that Joe Burrow got sacked in this game, and it was a delay of game. And then like another delay of game or a timeout that was called that could have put them back. It felt like the NFL wanted Joe Burrow to at least be in the AFC title game. And I've said this. I said it on Twitter. I said this before. There's always that one team that makes the AFC title game and then kind of falls off a little bit. Colts, Jaguars. You could now put the Bills in there because the Bills are in it. You could put the Titans now in there because the Titans fell off again.
They need a quarterback. Remember, I told you that? They need a quarterback.
They need Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill's not the guy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I get that.
Vrabel's a great coach.
Yeah.
He needs a quarterback.
It's tough in Vrabel's way of losing a game 19-16. Your defense held together.
Yep.
They were there.
Yep.
it's tough to lose on a field goal. 3 field goals this weekend was pretty nuts too.
Insane.
Well, 4 field goals because one of them got you to overtime. Then pretty much that's what happens. All right, so Kansas City. They can be beatable. And what's great is, here's the storyline. The Bengals beat Kansas City to win their division just a few weeks ago. They did it in Cincinnati. Now they got to go to Arrowhead. It's going to be a great test for Joe Burrow. He's got a lot of support around him. I think this is an awesome matchup. What else can you ask for? I think the Titans, Kansas City wouldn't have been that good. Like, I think Joe Burrow, he's got his. He's feeling it right now. They got to get some offensive line to protect him. That guy took 9 sacks. He got beat the fuck up in that game.
That's not cool.
No, that's not cool for him. There was a picture of him, and he's just like, his face, he's just screaming in pain. But,
protect your franchise, man.
I want to see the Bengals beat Kansas City. I just want something new, something fresh. And we've seen Joe Burrow just a few years ago for LSU in a national title game to be in a Super Bowl at that young age. We're having these new influx of young quarterbacks.
Yep.
Big Ben's out of here.
Yep.
You're going to see, Brady's going to be out of here soon. Rodgers is on his way out. It's the new guys that are coming up, and Joe Burrow is that new guy. So it's good that he's getting this experience early on. And I hope Mac Jones, I'm not rooting against Mac Jones. I hope Mac Jones is in the spot next year. I hope the Patriots they get into the AFC title game somehow.
I do hope that Bill, our coach, is seeing this new wave of quarterbacks and is maybe thinking of changing his philosophy as far as the type of linebackers that he wants to get. I know Hightower. I know how you feel about him. I know that's not changing. I think he's a Hall of Famer as far as New England Patriots Hall of Fame, but he can't compete anymore.
They gotta get faster.
Now, these guys they're running everywhere.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, you get faster, especially the way you have to cover quarterbacks now.
Yeah.
Josh Allen yesterday still scramble out and make
he ran
plays.
over a cornerback.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
He was their best offensive weapon at one point, other than Gabriel Davis, but he was their best offensive weapon to get first downs, and they just ran it with him.
100%.
So, and again, though, quarterbacks that are doing this in their play style, how long is that going to last
This is
in
true.
terms of longevity? So how many years is your body going to be able to do that? So I know Belichick might be looking at the grand scheme of things and having that a true pocket passer because you want to protect the guy and get them developed, because he might say, hey, by year 7, that's when things are really heating up. Look at Brady. Like, Brady won a lot when he was young, but by year 6, 7, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, that's where his best offensive years were.
Yeah.
And it's the longevity of keeping somebody healthy like
This
that.
is true.
So whereas some of these guys, year 10, like Josh Allen, he could be beat up and done.
Broken down.
Yeah, broken down. His body
Legs
can't
are
handle it
nothing.
anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hopefully he keeps his arm. But now let's talk about the other side, because I hope this part hurts me, right? Jimmy G is the luckiest quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
In the National Football League.
I hope they win somehow. I hope they fall. He falls ass backwards.
But then, you know what that means if he wins? That's just going to mean he's going to become a free agent. He's going to get a shitload of money from some stupid team, and it better not be us.
There's no way San Francisco can sit there and say, we need to keep Jimmy G for another year, when they can just cut him and save $20 million.
Correct.
There's just no way. Your team, the team around him got him into this position.
Yes.
You can get anybody to fill in, they'll do better than Jimmy G. But the Jimmy G story's fun because he was drafted here in New England, and he's going to be the next guy for Bill Belichick, and he was being groomed in for the position, and he comes out against Kansas City in week 4 when they get demolished, and Jimmy G throws a touchdown. Then he fills in for Tom Brady for 2.5 games and looked great, and that's how he got this big contract in San Fran when he gets traded out, and San Fran sucked, and Jimmy G comes and wins 11 straight games or whatever it was, and they're like, oh, wow, this is our savior. Then he gets hurt, but he has this big contract. Now he's going to go to the Super Bowl again. He's going to go to the Super Bowl again, and he's going to get cut, and some team's going to pay him money. What a great story it is for Jimmy G.
It's a great story for Bill Belichick as well.
Yeah, no, it's good to see his quarterback that was supposed to be the next guy in New England and has a shot now to go into the Super Bowl. When it comes to the NFC title game, I'm rooting for either team.
Yeah.
I'm not picking a side. I'll be happy for either or. If Jimmy G makes it back, I will root for Jimmy to try to get a Super Bowl win.
Yep.
And I look at the Rams and just in the sense of, Odell getting a ring. They got everybody. Von Miller.
When the hell did Eric Waddle?
Eric Waddle coming in at last. He joined in 2 days before they were playing. And I think more so universally will be accepted. Matt Stafford. Has the numbers. And this is the point where Matt Stafford's building the Hall of Fame career, but he really solidifies it with the Super Bowl win. He has to get there. Yeah, and if I'm a Detroit Lions fan,
you're pissed. You
got to be happy and sad. Happy that you're like, wow, this guy was so good that he goes on a good team and goes almost to a Super Bowl. Right now he's in the NFC title game. Our organization sucks. Our organization's terrible.
I retract that because they just destroy everyone.
They should be mad at their organization.
Megatron,
they got to be mad at that organization to say, damn, dude, we have talent and you just don't know what to do with it. It just sucks. When are we going to get ours? So
it's insane.
It's a good little I like the NFC matchup. Just please, other side, Kansas City, please don't go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you know what's cool too? LA Rams win back-to-back years where a team hosts the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay did it last year.
Yes.
LA
and then
can
LA.
do it this year. So
SoFi Stadium.
It's in SoFi Stadium. Yep. I don't know who's technically hosting AFC or NFC, how it works, but I wonder if Bolt God will be going to the Super Bowl as an LA Rams fan. Because he'll be, I support the LA Chargers. It's the same thing. How many Chargers fans are going to just jump on that wagon once again? Hop on that wagon there at SoFi Stadium.
What would you say? What do you think? Where would he be leaning? What do you think?
Oh, he's gonna be a Rams fan for a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, he's just gonna be there and support and watch. Right. But counts. LA wins. LA.
Let's take it anyway.
I know this whole I like to build on rivals like Boston versus New York, Boston versus LA, and LA is gonna be look at us, we won another championship.
Yeah, let's add it.
I'll let this one slide only because of Matt Stafford.
Fair enough.
And Odell, I think Odell. It's a weird career. He's just a one catch type of guy, but he's been having a great run. He's been having a great run.
Yeah.
I actually saw this when I was coming in. And it says that Odell asked for his contract to be in Bitcoin. So he got $750,000 in Bitcoin.
What?
And Bitcoin tanked. So he has to pay taxes on the $750,000, which is 50-something% in California. And because of now, say it comes down to it's $750, so it's 300 and something, 350, whatever. He only is making $30,000 right now this season.
Are you shitting
Because
me?
of how Bitcoin is just tanked and his money is tanked this year. It's sitting there. He owns all this Bitcoin, but it's just
Let's hope Bitcoin comes back.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah.
Why you put in crypto? Take straight cash, homie. That's what Randy Moss said.
Big facts. So we're gonna do a little something different today, man. People have been asking to join. We got our guy. He's in the cut.
We're waiting to do this for a long time. This is history.
This is history, man. We'll put him on. I'm gonna put him over here. Make him third. Let me bring him here. All right, we got our guy. Let me bring this up. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Hold on. I'm about to have you. I'm about to tag you in.
This is historic for the Boston Power Hour. We've been talking about doing these virtual interviews. The whole point of the Spike King account, Babs, and Boston Power Hours for you guys at home to get your questions, to provide some content. And what we've been working on, Cliff's been working on in the background, is to start adding you to come on these shows to talk for a couple minutes, 10 minutes tops, your voice, your opinions, to give you some sort of platform to do whatever you got to do. That's what's great about my account. That's why I like doing Instagram Lives. They're so easy. Now, we know who we're adding in here. We're not just adding randos in at this point. But, this is going to be an opportunity every week that I'd like to do this, Cliff, from here on out. Because now the football season's dwindled down a little bit. We got some more time to talk about other things. So,
all right, let's bring him on board, man. What's going on, brother?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Jorge.
I wish my
Wolf. A lot of people know Jorge as the Puerto Rican Charles Barkley on my Instagram lives. Gets a lot of flack for it. I respect Jorge because of his opinions. He's not afraid to tell it how it is. Jorge, introduce yourself out there to everybody.
Well, first and foremost, I wish Cliff had a Lil Wayne's uproar in the background to introduce me. That'd be a great, a little background introducing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, my name is Jorge Wolf. I'm from Connecticut, West Hartford. I live in West Hartford, Connecticut, originally from Fairfield County area of Connecticut, which is Bethel, Connecticut. So for me to be an avid New England sports fan is a huge deal. Trust me, guys. Trust me when I say this. When I was 12 years old, being a huge Red Sox fan, 1986, I had my beautiful Red Sox jacket, right, with the emblem. Went to school the next day. They ripped that shit off and they destroyed my jacket. My dad told me, they're going to break your heart, kid. That's what they're going to do. And now look at us. Now look what happened in the 20 years of greatness. We are title town. So a kid from Fairfield, Connecticut, from the Fairfield County area of Connecticut, Bethel, Connecticut, loving New England sports. Thank you for having me on today, guys.
Let's give that guy an applause, man. Wow. My goodness. You can win an award, man. You have your speech prepared.
No, he's been prepped for this. We've been waiting for this moment a long time. Jorge, I want to ask you, the Patriots 2021 season, I want your full thoughts on it. What do you think about this transition year? What do you think about Mac Jones? What do you think about Bill Belichick? Just talk us out. Was it success? Was it a failure? What do they got to do?
They had a good season, but I can't say they're better than I expected, but they did meet some expectations this year. We've had discussions plenty of times. I think with the team that Bill Belichick developed this year, I think it was, $150 million, $200 million that he spent on all these players. They had to make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs. It was a failure of a season. I'm going to say that right now. It was interesting. I like the players they brought in. There's a couple of players that got to step up. I mean, I got my Jonnu Smith jersey. I think I gave him bad luck. So hopefully next year, Jonnu, if you're watching, next year's your year, man. We're going to have the 2 tight end set. The big thing with the team this year is they kind of were disappointing. They had the growing pains in the beginning. Middle of the season with the 7-game winning streak, I mean, I think everyone got a little bit too hyped. We've been on together, Spike, and we spoke about it, and I think a lot of people were saying how much I hated. It's just I didn't hate. I just didn't trust. My eyes just didn't trust what I was seeing, if you get what I'm saying. It was just like, I hate to say this because it's Bill Belichick and the greatness of Bill Belichick, but it just seemed a lot of smoke and mirrors, and they're just front runners. They just didn't know. And I kept on saying this time and time again. I still haven't seen them come back from like being down by a couple of points to come back. And then what disappointed, like I said, the season was fun to watch, but what disappointed me greatly was the end of the season. I'm not talking about getting embarrassed by Buffalo. All right. I'm just talking about the demeanor after their bye week. You had a remarkable win against Buffalo, and then you started hearing all this hype and stuff like that. And I think they actually believed the hype, right? And I think they all did. I think even the coaching staff did, because that's where I was disappointed. I was disappointed with the players, but I was more disappointed with the coaching staff, including Bill Belichick, because they did not have that team prepared for the final 4 weeks of the season. And what have we always said about the Patriots? Oh, it's not about the beginning. It's kind of like in the middle, but it's about the last 4 weeks when they get prepared to go in the playoffs. And, I mean, was anyone really surprised that they got their ass beat by Buffalo? I mean, come on. For real. I mean, Mac Jones, people think I hate on Mac Jones. I don't hate Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is a swell kid. He's a little tennis player from Jacksonville, Florida.
So Jorge, was he a C+ player this year?
C+, B- at times. Here's the problem here's the thing with Mac Jones, and everyone gets mad at me when I say this. They want me to say, "Oh, Mac Jones is a great quarterback." He's a good quarterback. He's not great. He's good, and that's okay, because guess what? You can still win games, and maybe you could actually win a Super Bowl. We're seeing it right now. We're seeing what San Francisco is doing with Jimmy Garoppolo. Because Jimmy Garoppolo is not a great quarterback. He's a good quarterback. And I just
so Jorge, what are some of the biggest needs? What are the biggest needs right now for the offseason for the New England Patriots? Where the focus should be?
Defense. All right, guys, we're not re-signing. If J.C. Jackson re-signs here, amazing. I don't know what they drugged him and then he signs with them.
He's not coming.
J.C. Jackson should not sign the tag, because if he signs the tag, the Patriots have control. He should not sign that tag. He should be pay me, because he deserves it. So I don't know what they're going to do with the cornerback. But the big thing they got to do is on defense and the first round, because people ask, what are they going to do in the first round? I think they're either going to get an edge rusher or an offensive lineman, like an offense and tackle. We need a tackle. You got to protect Mac Jones, okay? Because our tackles suck. Okay, they really do. We have enough guards. We have enough fat boys to be guards, but we need tackles to protect the edges. If not that, we need an edge rusher to help Matt Judon. I think Matt Judon just got tired.
Yep.
He was sitting there like, come on, dog, I'm doing all the work, and you all just watching. Uche got hurt this year. I'm hoping if he's there, Michigan's David Ajobu. If you can get David Ajobu being, because he was the dude that was the other side of Aiden Hutchinson at Michigan, and they were nasty this year, except for that game against Georgia, and Georgia won it anyway. But if you put another edge rusher, you get him there with Judon, that defense is going to be nasty because Bill Belichick, he doesn't care, but he loves the corners, but he said it all year. The reason why J.C. Jackson's so good is because we have a great pass rush. So he works on the inside out instead of the outside in, and that's how Bill Belichick runs his off defense. Linebackers is the next thing. So it's definitely defense.
Good
when
answer.
It comes down to that.
Good answer.
On that one,
question for him.
And then people are like, oh, we need this number one receiver. We need a sweet guys. For the 20 years we've been asking for a number one receiver.
I agree with that.
The only time we had a number one receiver was a hot minute with Randy Moss.
Yeah, I think
okay, guys?
I agree with that. And Spike and I have been saying this for a few weeks now. I think we're all on the same page. We know that we need a receiver. We're not going to find that gem. We're not going to find another Randy Moss. We need to protect the quarterback, but we need to help the defense. Need to get these guys off the field, as we saw this past week. One question that I have for you: I've been getting a lot of flack because I'm a supporter of Tom. I like Tom. Tom gave us 19 plus years. He brought us, plenty of Super Bowls. No one else did. They didn't want to pay him the $25 measly million, which now they probably are like, shit, we wish we did. But this past season, Jorge, he was eliminated. How do you feel about what happened, real quick, about this game? Do you think he's going to stay in Tampa, or do you think he's going to retire?
I think if the only reason he retires is because I'm not going to say pressure from his family, because that's the wrong way to say it. Mm-hmm. I love my wife. I love my kids. I love my family. I think there's going to come a point where his wife and his family, even his parents, Tom, what else do you have to prove? I think if he retires, it's because of his family, not because he wants to or he can't do it. Because, I know, we go in these chats and people are like, oh, I wish he breaks. I hope he gets hurt and this and that. Guys, I don't think he retires. I think Spike's right. I think he does one more year, right? And does like a what do you call it? Like a goodbye tour.
Yep.
All right. I think it's with Tampa because a lot of people are like, oh, Tampa's not really losing a lot of folks. They're still keeping a lot of the core players. I mean, you might lose Chris Godwin, but what if you bring an OBJ? What if you bring a Brandon Cooks, something like that? You keep all the tight ends in there. Why wouldn't Fournette resign? I mean, you know what I'm saying? And then their defense is they still got a good core there, so I don't see why you wouldn't stay. I guess a dream would be, can you imagine if Bill Belichick goes, hey, Tom, listen, we can put the kid on the bench. And,
oh my God!
He could learn from you, and he could come. You could come back for one more year. And,
why you got to go there?
Be a beautiful. It's not going to happen.
Face right now.
That would be one thing.
Tom Brady's not coming back to New England. Stop doing that. People are doing that. Belichick would look moronic to add him back. The only way Tom Brady comes back to New England is if Bill Belichick is fired, he's out of here, and Robert Kraft's the one that brings him back. That's the only way that's happening. I'm telling you. He's only coming back on a one-year deal, one-day deal. I mean, that's it. It's not going to come back.
No. Listen. I think he's either at Tampa Bay or he goes to his home. I agree. I left my heart in San Francisco, so something like that. Maybe 1 year in San Francisco.
So Jorge, real quick, I'm going to run down a couple cities. I'm going to run down teams. Just give me a simple answer.
I could throw the teams on.
You got teams ready for us. Look at that. Ready. Wow, you got this. Wow, we're getting a little fancy here.
First and foremost, are you ready?
I don't see anything, so you got to read it to me.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
We got the Bucks.
Tom Brady.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either that or Kyle Trask, but Tom Brady.
Steelers.
Russell Wilson.
Ew.
No, that's not happening. No.
I don't like that.
You don't like Russell
he wants
Wilson?
a big market, Jorge. Come on, you're better than this.
Give me another answer.
Rodgers and the Steelers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for keeping with it. San Francisco.
Wow. It's definitely not going to be Jimmy G.
Hell no.
But you know what? How about like a Kirk Cousins?
Ooh, I like that. It's not bad.
He's not horrible. Kirk's not
No
horrible.
one's talking about him now.
They're not. His stock is just like, because he needs help. You know what I mean? He could keep the game going, get you a couple touchdowns here and there, but
maybe he goes to Pittsburgh. I mean, he played with Washington. He doesn't mind playing in cold weather.
Pittsburgh's actually not a bad team.
How
about
Najee
this?
Harris is nice.
How about this real quick,
he
guys?
can make it work over there.
I got one for you. You ready for this? How about Kirk Cousins goes to Cleveland and Baker Mayfield goes to the Vikings?
Hell no. Vikings, they already had a mess. Vikings need help. They went from Teddy to Kirk. Now, I'm going to give you one more.
The Vikings need Jesus.
Yeah, they do. How about Buffalo? I mean, not Buffalo, but the Broncos.
Broncos? I think you might see Rodgers at the Broncos or Pittsburgh. Those are the two teams. Or no, Rodgers. I think Rodgers goes to the Broncos. I think John Elway wants to do it again with another seasoned quarterback. So
obviously we're on time constraint, but I did have me and Cliff didn't communicate too well because, dude, there's going to be so many opening spots. Other teams that you're looking at this year: Seattle, Minnesota, New Orleans, maybe Matt Ryan's out of Atlanta, the New York Giants, maybe the Washington football team are looking a different way as well, too. You have the New York Jets are going to have some sort of quarterback competition going over there.
Yes.
Obviously, we just said Denver. Yeah. Baltimore, is Lamar Jackson even going to be worth staying over there? And don't forget Houston. Houston has the Deshaun Watson issue going on right now. And the New England Patriots, is Mac Jones' job safe, Jorge?
No, it's not. I think Mac Jones they're going to probably start him. But I think he's going to have heavy competition in that quarterback room. Mm-hmm. What if you bring a healthy Ryan Fitzpatrick in there, little Fitzmagic or something like that?
No, we don't need Fitzmagic. Dies out at the end.
No, they got Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer's coming back.
They got Brian Hoyer.
We're going to talk about that.
I think there's going to be definitely competition there. I think Jarrett Stidham has to prove himself this year. I think Jarrett Stidham.
All right, you have
he said Stidham.
Stidham's going to win the quarterback competition. I'm putting it out there. I got to say it. I'm going to preach it from the rooftops.
But are the Crafts going to allow it?
No.
How about this, guys?
Okay, Jorge can attest to this, and we talk about this all the time. There definitely is something going on between Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft, and they're not seeing eye to eye. And it's mostly because of Tom Brady. So I really do feel that Mac Jones was the pick. Mac Jones was the pick for Robert Kraft, and it wasn't Bill Belichick's pick. Yes or no, Jorge? Simple question. Was this team built for Cam Newton this year?
Yes. Yes, because all those
they were going with Cam Newton. They
up.
were going to go with Cam Newton. He wanted to transition with Mac Jones next year. Kraft went in there and said, nope, we're doing it this way. And Kraft pulled a Jerry Jones on Bill Belichick. I swear to God that happened. And it would be very fitting if Belichick just says, whoever wins the quarterback competition, I'm going to start the better guy, and ends up being Stidham, and Stidham looks better. He starts him just to screw Kraft over. There's got to be something there. Something's going to happen. It's not going to end well didn't end well with Brady and Belichick. It's not going to end well with Belichick and Robert Kraft.
Well, Brady Sr. said it.
Hey, real quick, guys. Real quick, though. Here's the thing I want to ask about the quarterback position, right? Do you think Bill Belichick gets flyers? Like, let's say if Houston talks to him about a Deshaun Watson, or if an Aaron Rodgers or something of that nature. I know you guys were talking about it earlier, but I'm sorry. I mean, I know Deshaun Watson's having his issues and situations and he's to take care of. I hope he does. And I don't know what's going on. I'm not trying to say, let's bring him in, but if Bill can get Deshaun Watson, does he pick him up at the airport?
Hell yeah. I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I think the only problem is if the Crafts are concerned about the whole PR thing, especially with Bob being in Florida. I think that's the only thing.
Yeah.
So, I have one more thing since you said it's real quick. I'm going to read this for you. I don't know if you could see it if you're watching us on YouTube right now. And it basically says, never let your girl tell you 13 seconds isn't long enough ever again.
The magic of Patrick Mahomes, baby. God, I can't say it. Real quick, I don't know why Patriots fans were so happy about the Bills losing last night.
Thank you.
I'm sitting here.
I don't understand it either.
Guys, do you understand if Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl, they're the new dynasty?
He doesn't want that. So that's why we're going West Coast. We want the West Coast.
Oh, and you guys, I'll give you my pick for the Super Bowl. I'll do that for you too, again. All right. So the reason why I'm doing this pick is back in 1954, a little boy was born back in Palo Alto, California. For all you don't know where Palo Alto is, it's by San Francisco. And my dad, I love him to death, Thomas Wolfe. He's the man that raised me. He's my stepdad, but I took his last name because, he's the man that raised me. And I'm going to say, let's go San Francisco with Jimmy Garoppolo backing into the Super Bowl and winning.
I'm going to I'm going to give you the applause just for your dad. Not because I approve it. I don't want Jimmy G winning shit.
No, but
I don't want to hear.
But listen, real quick. If there's a team that really reminds you of the 2001 Patriots and how they got in and everything like that, right now it's the San Francisco 49ers. It wasn't the Patriots. It's the 49ers, the way they're doing it.
Wow.
I would want Jimmy G to win if the Patriots gave us access. Because you know how much shit there'll be to talk about? That's the only reason I would be interested in that happening.
And that would be vindication for Bill Belichick, too, if he wins, right? I told you he was a good quarterback, but you didn't want to listen to me, So there you go.
Then that kind of hurts my Brady movie that I want to help produce.
The Brady movie. Yeah.
But listen, Jorge, this was awesome, man. This was a good thing, man. Let's give him a – what's that? Listen, it's better to be –
Not too long ago.
Did you read it yet?
A buddy of mine. Read it.
Okay. Do they have an audiobook? I have ADD, man.
They do have an audiobook, and everyone's like hating on it because they think it's a big bash on Bill. It really isn't. Mm-hmm. It really describes how the inside thinkings of Brady, Belichick, and Kraft and why they were so successful for 20 years and then why they broke up. Listen, we've all had relationships that didn't work out after so many years.
That's right.
That's what happened to them. It was a divorce, guys. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right. Well,
Jorge, much love. I appreciate you coming on.
Guys.
You're
Thank
always
you guys
the
so
first
much.
in line for the Instagram lives. I appreciate you being our first guest on Boston Power Hour. That was awesome. I appreciate it. Much love, man.
All right,
Thank
man.
you,
Be
Jorge.
well.
Peace.
That was great. That was a great first guest. He brought his notes. He came in and he was prepped. He was ready to go. That's what I like about Jorge. He knows what he's talking about. He's got to throw a little jab once in a while. There's one thing I do want to mention. I left my finger up for a solid 30 seconds, so Jorge just keeps going and going. And I just want to go right back to Matt Judon real quick and sort of how he gave up. I think that Belichick needs to look at Matt Judon, and we talked about this last week. He is going to be their vocal guy, and I feel like it wasn't his time and place yet to be a vocal locker room leader going into that last half of that season, that back stretch, because you still have these guys like McCourty hanging around. You still have Hightower.
Makes sense.
I don't think he wanted to step on their toes just yet.
Makes
but
sense.
I think that with those guys being out of there and Judon's, somewhat of NFL experience, but what he was able to do at the beginning of the season, I really hope that he's kind of given the keys to the kingdom to be that type of player that people can go around him. I actually... I wish I sent this to you because I think this happened like last week or something. Did we talk about it? The porn star that posted something on Twitter. I posted on Instagram about it. I missed it, and she said along the lines that she was talking to a player that was in her DMs nonstop, and then he kept bothering to come out to Boston. And she said he plays defense on the New England Patriots. So, I saw this days later. Barstool picked it up, and then 2 hours later, Matt Judon tweeted out that people are just clout chasing a clout chase. Just, you can stay quiet. So I thought there was something there. Mm-hmm. We'll probably bring it up some point. It probably is nothing, but you go back on Spike King Instagram, scroll down, it was there.
We'll check it out.
Yeah,
we can definitely check it out, but that's insane. So, all right. So, for the first time, well, not really the first time, but we're gonna switch up a little bit.
It's been a long time,
just a little bit, because these guys are kind of winning here and there.
It's been a long time,
kind of winning here and there. Some news, Celtics news. How do we feel about the Celtics, sir? How do you feel about the Celtics?
Oh, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to be a Celtics fan, a green teamer. Because his team is just so inconsistent.
Yeah.
They're just so, like, hot and cold. You see Jason Tatum drop 51 points. Oh, my God, Tatum! He's so good. Retire his number. Then the next night, he fails to, he misses, like, 23 pointers in a row. He just can't hit it. He can't hit a big shot when it ends. When you're up against Portland with 7 minutes to go and you're up, like, 11 points and you blow it to Portland and you're at home, like, they're so inconsistent. They're 24-24. They're smack dab at 500. And look at that, just like 89 to 100.
That right there is so telling because that means
points.
in 7 minutes,
5 points.
5 points.
That's it. 5 points, and you're home.
That's
you're
a problem,
home, man.
You know what?
And
I didn't want to say this, man. You know, I'm not a basketball coach or anything, but that's also coaching.
Do you believe in him?
No.
Like, give him a grade right now, halfway through the 24 and 24.
C minus.
C minus.
I'm gonna say C minus.
I give him like a D minus.
I can't say D yet. Not yet. Not yet.
I don't think the team believes in him.
Because the team needs any type of team, especially with basketball. It requires time for them to mesh. There needs to be time for the players to come together. Needs time for the players to bump heads. Needs time for the players to understand off switches. You don't really necessarily get to really practice. There hasn't been a solid starting five. Someone's always injured. Someone's always down. That's been since day one with these Celtics. And I'm going back all the way to, like, the Kyrie Irving days with, like, since day one, which, remember that? Like, that was so long ago. But I can't say that he's a D minus, but I will say he's average. He's a little below average. Why? Because you have superstars. And for whatever reason, you can't get to them. You're not communicating with them. You're not having them. I don't see a philosophy when they're playing out there. There's a lot of one-on-one basketball happening.
They're one of the worst fourth quarter teams out there. They just can't close out games. And we're near the trade deadline, Cliff. So Celtics talk is going to ramp up on the show a little bit, especially when the football season's out of here.
Yep.
And the fact of the matter is, they're still only 6.5 games back from first place in the Eastern Conference.
Yep, that says something too.
They feel like they're 20 games back. It feels like they're out of it. They're in it, actually. Like, it's actually, that's how bad the Eastern Conference is this year.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say.
Because you have your top teams, like, in the West right now.
You got your Chicago.
Yep. Like, you got in UCI, you got your Chicago's up there. And they're going through a little woe spell right now. But I think with the trade deadline coming up, he shouldn't go anywhere. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown shouldn't go anywhere. But everyone's up for grabs. Marcus Smart, Jesus Christ, just trade him away, get rid of him. Dennis Schroeder, great piece right now to go somewhere. I saw that they got Bol. I saw they got PJ Dozier. They're not playing this season. They're just trying to whack off some money. Sports Hub, Tony Maserati said this and put this out there. That's a move that just shows that they're not willing to spend any money this season in invest in the team. They're 100%. Just trying to get under the luxury tax. They don't want to do it. But when you look at the team right here, the Boston Celtics are 24-24, and they're the 8th seed. It feels like they're way worse than that. And you're only 6.5 games back. And in basketball, it's all about a game of runs, right? That's what it is. And the season is all about a game of runs, too. There was a point where they were like 7-1 in 8 games. They were hot through a 10-game streak. I know they had a bad start. It's almost like Brad needs to pull the trigger now. Like, pull the trigger now to get this team up, because this is how bad the Eastern Conference is. And here's just the last couple games that they've had. I mean, they're just a 500 team. You had that Portland game where you should have won that game. You had a big game against Washington, 116-87 because of Jason Tatum's 51.
Yep.
But then you lose to a team like Charlotte. Again, you're at home and you lose to a team like Charlotte. And I think the New Orleans Pelicans, too, was a winnable game, and you shouldn't be losing to a team like that. They don't even have Zion on that team. Like, they don't have anybody.
That's
like,
scary,
it's just
right?
weird. It's weird they're losing to these bad teams you should be beating up on.
But then you see them playing like a really good, like, elite team. Washington's not bad, and then they just step up and they destroy people. I really think I think they need veteran leadership. Like a veteran that's won, that there's a little bit of fear, like, oh, shit, let me not mess around with this person. And they talked about this early in the season before this coach here. Someone like a KG to get in their face and say, fucking running up and down the court.
So where the fuck's been KG this season? They're going to retire his number. They're going to put it out there. You think that they would be bringing KG in? By the way, I'm going to that game, by the way. Little birthday gift to Michelle. We're going to be there. But I've been so against KG's number being retired. This is such a publicity stunt. Because he hasn't played that many seasons in Boston. Well, Babs, he changed the culture around. He won a championship. So what? It was one championship. If they won 2, we can talk about it. They didn't win 2. They shouldn't be retiring his number. And if you're going to retire his number, this guy should be there right now all season. He should be actually helping out with this team, being more vocal about it, right? Where the hell's Kevin Garnett been? He should be there at the game. He should be at the Garden. He should be thanking the Boston Celtics organization for retiring his number in the first place. He's not around because they do need a guy like that. I understand
What if they're not asking him to do that?
He still should do it. He should just do it if they're going to retire your number as a Celtic. Where the fuck are you?
Just tweet him. Let's tweet him. Because I think he's the man for the job.
We need to call him out.
He's that kind of guy that they need. Someone that's in your face. He's got the credential. Someone that could probably
just
still
be in the locker room
now.
and hang out for the year.
Yeah.
Just 1 year. Hey, we're retiring your number this year. Just be here and be an advocate and be like a spokesperson for the Boston Celtics. Just be here to help these young guys. We're retiring your number. It would be great. He's going to make his one-off appearance when he comes here in March, and then that's it. And that's all you're going to see from KG. Yeah. And like the Celtics should just pay him to be here too. Pay him for his time here. Just have him fly him in like once a week.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea either because also, I think they need that.
You're an organization that tickets are like $7 to get into like the TD Garden. It's super cheap during the weekdays. Bring KG out there on a Wednesday, fill those stands in. The fact that they can see KG walking around and just being there and maybe sign some autographs. Just bring him in, be an ambassador for the Boston Celtics.
I'm okay with that, man. I am okay with that. All right, so what do we have next here on our itinerary? You still want to make some bets out here?
The bets are dwindling down a little bit. I went 3 for 4 this week. I did have Cincinnati. I had Kansas City. I had the Rams over the Bucks. But I took the Packers 5.5, and Aaron Rodgers puked on himself. Like, that shouldn't have happened. So it was a little rough. But now we're going to start doing this. Sports are doing it. Only 2 football games coming up Sunday.
It's crazy, isn't it?
1 more game after that.
Tears.
And then it's going to be kind of tough. It was tough to find bets this week, and I'll show you in a little bit. LA Rams hosting the San Francisco 49ers. I think the Rams have it. The Rams look good. The Rams should steamroll. I saw this thing, Cliff, that if you want to buy tickets to the game, you have to live in the Inglewood, California area. They don't want people from San Fran going to this game. They're trying to blame COVID. They're trying to use COVID as the excuse. Yeah. But realistically, it's because so many people like to travel to LA. We've seen it with the Chargers games. Yep. They don't want to be like overmatched with San Fran fans. Happened earlier this season. But the Rams are trying all their best. I just like the Rams at home. You have some guys on this team that have been to the Super Bowl in the past. Yep. You have a hungry quarterback in Matt Stafford that needs to get in there. And I think San Fran is they're kind of beat up. They shouldn't have won. They tried giving Dallas the game. Yeah. They should have lost. They fell ass backwards. It would not shock me if the Rams win this game like 47-7. Like that's just how it's going to go.
Donald is not letting that shit happen. He's a man on a mission right now. That guy scares me.
Him and Von Miller together.
Unreal. Yeah. Hey, Bill, that's what we need. Yep. Let's move on.
Yep. Cincinnati Bengals. My Cincinnati Bengals in Kansas City. Going to be a fun game. I believe this is the 3 o'clock game for the day. Take Cincinnati plus 7.5 because I think that they're going to hang around. Kansas City could be up 14 points. They're still going to try and get that touchdown. They could win by 7 like Kansas City. So, I would take the plus 7.5. Root for Cincinnati. Hope for the upset. Hope to see cool Joe Burrow go into the Super Bowl, and I want to see him smoke. I want to see him. Yeah, I was just gonna say it. I want to see him smoke a cigar afterwards. They had that cigar out there, holding that Lamar Hunt Trophy in Kansas City. I want to see that.
Do it.
Well, little NBA action. So what's this? Saturday night NBA, the Brooklyn Nets at Golden State. There's no line set yet. I would take Golden State with the spread. It's probably going to be a close spread of like 1.5 to 2 points. Kyrie Irving is now playing with the Brooklyn Nets. He's allowed to. He's doing all the road games, so he should be out there against Golden State. He's doing road games.
Should be a good game, though.
But the Golden State Warriors are one of the best teams right next to the Suns. This could be a potential NBA Finals matchup as well, too. So if you're a big baller out there. But now that you got Klay Thompson back, that team's back, I think Golden State's going to go on a run. This is a good test for them to showcase on national television. They're still here.
And this is a first. We never talk
about hockey. And I will talk about hockey a little bit after this. But the Boston Bruins, who just played tonight, and they're up 3-2. Tuukka Rask puked all over himself. And they lost 5-3 to the Anaheim Ducks. Yeah, Tuukka Rask. I like that. Tuukka Rask. Boston's going to go out to Arizona on Sunday. Arizona is booty cheeks. They're like a 10-win team. The Boston Bruins should be able to handle that. I want to just talk hockey super quick, just a little quick tidbit right here, because I was going to bring it up and I didn't have it. I didn't know how much time we're going to have. Tuukka Rask signed a 1-year deal with the Boston Bruins. Everyone's excited. Tuukka Rask is an NHL Hall of Famer based on his stats alone, but I say stats are for the birds sometimes. Stats don't prove everything.
That's right.
Tuukka Rask is a choke artist. Tuukka Rask has had multiple times to win a Stanley Cup and lost them. He's had leads and lost them. 3-0 against the Flyers and lost that. The year before they won a Stanley Cup, Tim Thomas had to get him a Stanley Cup championship. I just felt that against the Blues a couple years ago, and it sticks with me, that they needed to win that, and Tuukka needed to win that.
Yeah.
And when you're a goaltender, it is on you.
It is on you.
It's on you. Like, it's on you to stop every fucking puck that comes your way.
Defense can only do so much.
Yes, exactly. So I think that it's sad because I would like to see Tuukka win, because I think Tuukka Rask jersey would be like all over the Garden. It's a jersey to own. Put that number in the rafters. But when you look at that number, when they retire his number, because I think it's going to happen, you're just going to say, what if? Like, what if? And then the second game that they had with him, they lost like 7-1. Yeah. And then even tonight, they were up 3-2, and then you lose 5-3. So I just don't believe in Tuukka Rask.
Yep.
That's what he is. He pukes all over himself.
Did you bring Swayman back?
And also, by the way, he gave up on the team when they played in the bubble. Like, they were still a decent team at the time. He went in there and blamed it on his kids and blamed it on whatever, but he went golfing. Like, right when he got back, Babs, you don't know his personal information. No. Like, he gave up on the team. He didn't want to be there.
Media if you're gonna do that.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I do feel that they're just in a weird spot right now. That do you stick with Swayman? What do you have with other goaltenders going on? Do you want to put Rask in there? They're figuring shit out. It's a 1-year transition. We need somebody to be there while we figure out our goaltending situation. But he's not it. Don't expect Tuukka Rask to win you a Stanley Cup this year.
Not at all.
I hope he does, but don't expect it.
I don't expect. Not holding my breath. All right,
Tuukka Rask. I like it.
Let's talk about these questions, these DMs that we get from the fans, and because they're the fans, I'm going to give them the sprinkle dust. Let's start off with this question right here, sir.
Here we go. You're gonna have to read off the name, Cliff, because I got this big light in front of me.
I'm sorry, N.S. Schubly, and sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, guys.
All right. Do the Pats re-sign J.C. Jackson?
Mm-hmm. What do you think,
the question that Mike Reese put this out on Sunday morning about J.C. If you watch him play against Buffalo, it looked like he made a little player decision to just kind of relax a little bit and not give it his all. I think he might have quit. JC wants the bag. As Jorge said it earlier, too, JC would be stupid to sign that franchise tag, to play on it, because of you're risking injury. You're risking millions and millions of dollars down the drain. JC is going to secure the bag. Will the Patriots pay him? I don't think so. I would hope that you franchise him, try to get another corner next to him, and then try to extend him and give him his money. But I think JC just wants to explore the market, and now it puts the Patriots in a really terrible spot. In terms of the secondary next year. I don't see them re-signing JC Jackson. I don't see them putting I want them to put the franchise. I want him here. But if you put the franchise tag on JC, how hard is he going to play next year? How hard is he going to give it his all? Because he knows what he's already worth, and teams will overpay. We've seen it so many times in the NFL. So how hard is he going to actually work for you? And if you franchise him and he's playing, it's just a desperation move out of Bill Belichick for that secondary.
We shall see. We shall see. Can't wait for the offseason, man.
What do we got here?
All right, we got your boy Table with a number 1 instead of an L.
All right, so which wide receiver 1 is most likely come to the Patriots and why? Some good free agents out there. I don't think that there's going to be any trades. I don't see them really putting money towards something. Like, I know, like the Michael Thomas we talked about, maybe a trade, but there's a lot of money that goes into it. I would kick the tires at Odell Beckham because I think there was interest. I was very outspoken early in the season. You don't add Odell into the middle of the season for the New England Patriots. They're figuring their own shit out. But I think that depending on how this goes for Odell, it also depends on the Tom Brady aspect of it too, where he goes and where other quarterbacks are landing. There's going to be a lot of question marks. I liked a name just to put out there and kick at the tires as well too. Use that phrase twice. Mike Williams from the Chargers. I don't think he's a sexy wide receiver 1. Big-bodied receiver, though. That he's going to earn his payday. He had a great season with Justin Herbert this year. He's someone I would look at because I think he's a great complementary piece to your offense. I wouldn't look at the offense you have now. I would love a stud wide receiver 1. Don't get me wrong. I just don't feel that it's necessary to spend the big bucks on it. Still focus on the team that you have around you. Focus on the 2 tight ends. Focus on the running back situation. Focus on your O-line.
Especially with the other needs, like you said.
Yeah,
right?
I would try to go into the draft and see what you have and just draft a guy.
Yeah.
And if they, if you're out, so here's the thing. If it's March and they sign somebody, or if it's April and they draft someone high, that means they believe in Mac Jones.
Right.
That's going to be telling. Remember that.
Telltale.
That's going to be telling.
Yeah.
If they don't get a guy in March and they don't get the guy in April early in the draft, that means that they're not sold on Mac Jones just yet.
Let me throw a wrench in your theory. What if they just say, hey, listen, they never really went out and got Brady, that sexy diva receiver that Bill feels like, you got to work with what I'm giving you. Yeah,
and you know what? Bill is looking all around the league. And what did we say earlier? Jamar Chase, like you have a guy like that, Odell Beckham or Cooper Kupp for Matt Stafford. You see all these top tier receivers like a Mike Evans for Tom Brady. Belichick will get pressured by the media, and Belichick will go tell you to fuck yourself. And he's like, I can do it without that. Belichick always wants to show that he can win without it.
Right.
But it's starting to get to a point. If you don't win,
the proof is here.
You got to do something.
Yeah.
You got to do something. And I think that Belichick's like, well, I did it once with Randy Moss and it didn't work. Like we didn't win at the end of the game. Like we didn't win.
We
didn't
wasn't
win
our
the Super Bowl.
Wasn't their fault.
You got to go out and And I think they got people. I think Hunter Henry was good. I want to see Jonnu Smith mixed in. I really believe in him.
I believe in Jonnu Smith. I hope that him and Mac come together, go to a beach somewhere, work it out, figure it out. Because when he catches the ball, you can see the talent.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, he just couldn't figure out where he needed to be on the field.
It's going to be a great offseason because, it's going to ramp up, back next month in February. In March, I hope these guys are working out nonstop with each other.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have a lot of time to do it.
Yeah.
I get it. Now imagine a full offseason where they actually can hang out, work out, and do it.
And like you said, stay off the socials. We don't need to see it.
Please stay off social media, everybody. Mac Jones, I know you guys went to the Bruins game the other night. That's all fun and dandy. Everyone's going nuts. Just stay away from everything.
Yeah.
Just stay away. Just stay hidden because Belichick's watching.
And we're talking shit.
Mac Jones is at the Bruins game.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Stidham's out in Texas. And he's just away from everybody. And he's kind of soul searching right now. I know that. I've seen it. And, he's got a new trainer, and he's going to just kind of be laying on the low. Stidham learned the hard way. Mac's still young. Mac has a lot of things around him. Yeah. It's a very interesting offseason for Mac Jones for endorsements, commercials.
We're seeing the commercials pop up everywhere now.
Some of that becomes distractions that Belichick doesn't want to see. I want to see him just, if anything comes out, I just want to see him working. That's it. Just work.
All right, let's go to the next question. We got Ethan.
Ethan, how do you feel overall about the Bruins going forward? Good, a little more Bruins talk. I mean, the Boston Bruins a little inconsistent as of late. You win some, you lose some, kind of like the Boston Celtics. It's just, will Rask puke on himself?
Yep.
The Bruins are going through that weird transition of you lost a lot of these vets. I saw Chara is now on the Islanders, I believe. It's just weird seeing him just kind of move around the league the way he's been moving around. But, I don't have much Bruins take. We talk about it in a couple months when it's March and when we start going on our run. And I hope we get to go to Hurricanes, by the way. We'll do some Bruins stuff when the playoffs come. I love playoff hockey.
I support them
there. I'm a pink cat when it comes to hockey.
Me too.
Just saying.
Call me in the playoffs. Yep.
Call me in the playoffs, please.
Me too.
We'll talk then.
Me too.
I'll come more prepped to the shows in a couple weeks.
100%. Last one, and we have, this is from Julio.
So he says, how long until New England compete with either of these two teams, meaning Buffalo and Kansas City? That was his actual original question. And you look at it, and you look at those two teams, they're going to kick your ass next year. They are going to kick your ass because your defense is now even in more question. If you don't have J.C. Jackson, you got to, if you draft with the linebacking situation, you draft within, who are you going to have? They have to go out and sign another Matt Judon type of player.
Yeah.
You have to go out there and find it and sign it. Are they beatable? Are teams beatable? Yeah, absolutely. You can catch any team any given Sunday. Yeah, absolutely. You can beat them. We've seen it already. The Patriots beat Buffalo in a weird weather type of condition game.
Yep.
That's a very rare win that happens like that. But their teams are beatable in the NFL. But I think that it's a punch in the face to see those two teams and the way they played against each other and say, we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And I hope the players see that and say, we have a lot of work to do too.
Screw the news clippings. Get rid of them stupid news clippings.
Yep, let's get to work.
So here's a question I have for you on my final thoughts, sir. This here will make me chuckle. This guy here. Is there a need? Should he stay?
No. Brian Hoyer 1,000% deserves another 1-year deal with the New England Patriots.
Why? Explain it to me. He's taking his spot.
Because he's still a mentor for a Mac Jones type of deal, right? I could push the whole Stidham narrative all I want and say Stidham's going to be your backup, Stidham's going to be the QB2, Stidham's going to compete for the job. But Brian Hoyer literally is the guy that's built there for Mac Jones. I want people to go back and rewatch that video because everyone was pumping up Mac Jones in Buffalo when he was handshaking with everybody, supporting his teammates. The first person to come up to Mac Jones was Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer went up to Mac Jones, had a pep talk with him, and I believe that Brian Hoyer told Mac Jones, go congratulate your teammates. That's what Brian Hoyer is there for. He's there to guide Mac Jones through the thick and thin of the NFL season. Another added piece to it, which we saw this past year, is when it comes down to OTAs, Brian Hoyer got to work with Mac Jones round the clock one-on-one. Players are allowed to work with players 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Coaches are only allowed to spend 4 hours a day for like 3 days a week or whatever the rule is.
Correct.
So adding Brian Hoyer to that mix is great. Brian Hoyer could be your quarterback 3. Like, I know Stidham was inactive all season, but that's what Brian Hoyer can end up being and still be able there to be a mentor if they feel comfortable enough of Stidham being a viable backup. And if Stidham isn't it, then Brian Hoyer can just be a viable backup. You got to keep him around because I look at Brian Hoyer as a coach. I don't see him going anywhere. He's not going to be another starting NFL quarterback somewhere. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to stay in New England. Brian Hoyer deserves a 1-year deal because when he came in during mop-up duty, he mopped it up. He got a couple touchdowns. He was still able to get that offense. Like, they scored 2 50-point games. He was able to move the ball still. So when he went in there, he was still able to do something with that offense, and I think he did a great job mentoring Mac Jones for the entire season. He deserves 1 more year.
What do you do if there is a quarterback competition and these free agents are saying, hey, this might be a landing spot? There's a quarterback that we can bring in. Who gets axed? Hoyer or Stidham?
So I think Stidham would have to get the axe. Like Hoyer's not going anywhere. This is Stidham's last year on his contract. I think Stidham, if he proves himself in OTAs and preseason as a viable backup or a quarterback, and you kind of assess him, be like, we're just going to roll with Mac Jones again. We could just leave Hoyer there if in case something bad happens. Maybe Stidham becomes a tradable piece to another team. You spent a 4th-round pick on Jarrett Stidham, get your 4th-round pick back. It's just, hey, we got our same pick back and just give it to somebody else because there will be some teams that are going to be QB needy later on. In depending on how injuries happen, like shit happens like that. So I look at it that way with Jarrett Stidham if he can compete, showcase himself, and get thrown on somewhere else. But I think Stidham has accepted what his position is. I think that with the New England Patriots, have him back up Mac Jones at that possibility and. When free agency comes next year, it's going to be interesting because they're going to have to bring somebody in because Hoyer's another year older. You don't have Stidham anymore. So it'll be interesting to see who they end up drafting or putting behind Mac Jones year 3, year 4.
No, good answers. I'm not mad at those answers. Hey, man, this was a pretty good one.
Yeah, it was good. A lot of football talk still. A lot of Patriots.
Shout out to Jorge coming through.
Jorge, that was awesome. It was a great time to be able to do that. And, if you want to come on at some point out there, anybody that's watching, we'll get you on eventually. We have a couple names we got to get through each week that I would like to jump on once in a while. And we'll get through it, man. If you want to come on these shows, you got to go on my Instagram Live. So you got to pass the first test. You got to be able to talk football and be knowledgeable and be able to talk. So
I like that.
That's what the Instagram Lives are for. So start hopping on those Instagram Lives when I put them out there. They're far and few in between, but that's what it is. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, this was another. We'll take care of that jersey. But actually, I like that you did that.
Who day?
What if they win?
Who day?
What if they win?
I'm wearing it again next week.
Good.
Wear it again next week.
I like that.
And I wear it again the next week after that.
I like that.
You got to keep wearing it, man.
Yeah, why not? It's okay, ladies and gentlemen.
It's okay to wear this jersey. I don't want the Kansas City Chiefs to win. That's it. I want to just support Bengals. I want to support the team.
Priorities, cool, ladies and gentlemen.
That's cool.
And on that note, I ain't got nothing else to say for final thoughts except go Rams, not Chiefs. And Jimmy G, if you're going to go there,
do it for Jorge.
Do it for Jorge. And on that note, we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. It's another Boston Power Hour.
Back wide open, touchdown! superstar. Step back